I was there when, as minister, we signed the Le Touquet Treaty, which meant that the border for entering Britain was in France. That is something we wanted, not the French, but we insisted on it. And as a result, we've got a lot of these very difficult problems. But at the end of the day, we took in last year 38,000 asylum seekers. About half of them are women and children. The French took in, just looking at the figures, 103,000. The Germans, 120,000. So this notion that only Britain has a problem is just silly.
Denis, surely, we're not talking about numbers here. We're talking about whether, firstly, are these people refugees? The answer is very clearly no. A vast number of them are not. You look at the video footage, you look at the country's origin, and there is nobody, and this is a fundamental point for me, there is nobody who transits the European Union to get to the North French coast with the intention of coming to the UK unless they want to do so. And if they want to do so, it is those people as individuals who are driving their movement. It is not the situation that they find themselves in. It's a matter of preference for them where they are. And
Henry, for heaven's sake,
Hang on, Denis, I'll let you come back. Just let Henry finish.
Despite the conventions, surely, even if they have left a war-torn region to start with, they have become economic migrants. They are choosing. This shouldn't be some sort of choice as to where they go, because otherwise we open our doors to probably 95% of the world's population that is slightly worse off than we are.
Denis, he makes a point there, doesn't he, Henry?
Look, I mean, if you're seriously saying all the Russians, and again, we're taking far fewer than in other European countries, have suddenly become economic migrants because Putin is killing and butchering and torturing them.
Dennis, sorry.
We ourselves... Let Dennis
finish and then Henry, hold that thought, Henry.
Let me finish. We, Britain, took part in 4 major regime change destructions of states in the last 20 years. I was involved in them. I'm not hiding my part in it to some extent. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya and Syria. And we initiated giant surges of people that none of us wanted, but far more going to our European countries. I'm not against Henry's idea of roving police patrols, but you'll have to negotiate that with the Italians and the Croatians. And I think there's about 7 countries between Albania and arriving here. And if you want any kind of cheap car wash, you're not going to find sturdy white sons and daughters of Henry and myself, or yourself, Emily, doing it. It's lads who come in, they're often under dodgy gangmaster control, who then wash our cars very cheaply. I love to
hang on, Denis. Sorry, have I understood you? Are you advocating that we should allow boats to come over because they are sturdy young men from countries where they will do jobs like washing cars? What about our national security?
Half the people. Emily, half the people arrive are like you, in a sense, a woman, and my grandson next door.
Well, that's not true. We can see with our own... Dennis, come on, don't take us for mugs. We can see with our own eyes that it's not women and children.
Emily, we see the pictures on calm days of the Zodiacs.
Hang on, Dennis. Sorry, I must let Henry reply to that, because I think he's itching to come in.
Talk about French.
The largest group, Dennis,
frankly, that's far more important.
Is the largest nationality at the moment, or country of origin, is Albania. Albania is not at war. We have not intervened militarily in Albania. In fact, Albania is a NATO ally. Albania is an accession process for the European Union. It's a member of the Council of Europe and the Organisation for Security and Cooperation in Europe.
Yes,
I was advisor to the Albanian Prime Minister's office. Dennis, why are we taking these people claims for asylum from them? They're predominantly young men. The fact is that they have transited the European Union because they're allowed into the European Union without any visa for 90 days. They make their way to the North French coast, and then they come here. They know perfectly well that they won't get an asylum in the European Union.
Henry, you're right. Albania is not in the European Union. They can't transit. They go illegally. It's so easy. I walked across. I lived in Switzerland. You can walk across the Alps just like that. We need to be realistic. Now, it's a long talk, but can we spend 1 minute, Emily? I mean, this is very interesting, and I don't disagree
with very quickly.
with Henry. Let's talk about France, UK relations. We've got our future Prime Minister. She called it banter. Actually, it was insulting. When the Argentinians invaded the Falklands, the first person to call up Margaret Thatcher was François Mitterrand, the French president, to give her all the details of the Exocet missiles. Washington at the time was trying to get us to come to an agreement, a sort of surrender to the Argentinians. We have got a difficult hundreds of years of relationship. I agree that. But it's no, when Boris Johnson says to Macron, "Donnez-moi un break," that's his cod French. You don't talk to other countries. You don't talk to Biden
Dennis,
like that.
A friendly nation doesn't impound fishing boats. A friendly nation doesn't threaten to blockade the Channel Islands. The French have not been diplomatic in themselves.
Please, Henry,
if the French were to come up with some constructive solutions as to how to solve the Channel
Islands, what is the point? I thought we were talking about immigration.
Anyway, it does not seem like we're going to agree on this one, and that's why we have these debates, I guess. People will be sitting at home and they'll make their own minds up. Thank you so much for joining me, Dennis, over the video link. You did well putting up your side of the case, and thank you very much, Henry.